die today. And so that will be part of our contemplation. And we remain on that feeling for as long as possible. And then we'll come to the conclusion, since I will soon have to depart from this world, there's no sense in becoming attached to the things of this life. Okay, and that's true. Since I soon have to depart from this world, there's no sense in being attached. So that's the key word. He's not saying it doesn't make sense to live. He's saying it doesn't make sense to be attached to the things of this life. Instead, from now on, I'll devote my life, or I'll use my life to practice Dharma. So we're kind of, we can say we're like rejecting or renouncing an incorrect mind because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to be attached. Instead, I'm going to devote my life to practicing love, compassion, and minds that do make sense. And that's really all it's saying, which is a huge thing to say, because how different will our life be? There's a life following an incorrect mind of attachment, and then there's a life following love, compassion, wisdom, patience. And those two lives are very, very different. So we're seeing how it's nonsensical to be attached. And we need to see that for ourselves. Okay, we need to see how it doesn't make sense, and that has to be our own wisdom. And then we're going to replace our attachment with beneficial minds. So it doesn't make, and we can be specific, like it doesn't make sense to be attached to my family. Instead, I'll devote my life to loving my family. It doesn't make sense to be attached to my friends. Instead, I'm going to devote my life to being a very beneficial person to them, having compassion for them. Okay, so that's what we're saying when we say in our conclusion. Okay, we're going to devote our life to practicing beneficial states of mind, purely and sincerely. And then we're going to hold that as our object of meditation. Are there any questions before we meditate? Okay. So we're trading an attachment for positive states of mind that make sense. Yes, sure.
You just said you are attached to your family, change that to love. Can you be attached and love at the same time?
Yeah, we have a lot of, our relationships with others are very mixed. We have a lot of love, but we also have a lot of attachment. And so there it's like weeding out the attachment and then growing the love that we already have. Yeah. And a lot of these, we have a lot of, like we have the seeds for all of these qualities. We do have some compassion, we have some awareness of death. We have some wish to have a meaningful life. Like we have similitudes of all the actual realizations, which I think is helpful to think about. Like we're not starting from scratch from one point of view. Like we have similitudes of all these, or like the seeds of all these. And so especially with like our family, it'll help us to reduce that part, but obviously like keeping, like the love that we have for them. And that's what we want to grow. And that's what we want to be stronger. And we can tell like when our relationships are going well, it's typically because we have more love, more compassion and patience. When they're not going well, it's because there's more self-centeredness, attachment, anger, expectation. And so you can just tell based on how things are going, what mind is maybe stronger in yours or in their mind. And that's always like a telltale sign. Yeah. Okay. Great. So we're just going to do the contemplation just as I read it. You can find a comfortable posture. And we can contemplate the following. I will definitely die. There is no way to prevent my body from finally decaying. Day by day, moment by moment, my life is slipping away. I have no idea when I will die. The time of death is completely uncertain. Many young people die before their parents.